congratulations on this. I love the whole concept of the idea. I went back and watched the original French film. What is it that, apart from that all men should be afraid of street furniture, what is it you've taken from that and brought into this? Because there's the subtle differences and there's some quite large differences as well.
I mean, I think they're very different movies, just because it also gets set in different cultures, and I think that remaking it was really interesting because we produced the French version, and then Liza was fantastic at finding how to make it work for as a British movie. So I think that it was finding these things, and then there were elements and the themes that are obviously like still very relevant today, as relevant as they were like 8 years ago. So I think.
Yeah, and I would say that the performers really brought a whole other level of exploration of the themes, which has been incredible.
Yeah, because it's interesting to look at all the similarities. But since you made that film, the discussion about toxic masculinity has moved on quite a way. So did you pick up a whole new range of things to effectively poke holes in with this film?
I think so. I think we didn't want to be dated, even in the idea of. I don't think the film is solely about toxic masculinity in that way. I think the film is just a sort of almost a fantasy of what if, right? And what if the world looked different? And I think Barbie did it, right? I think that there are movies where if you suddenly just imagined a whole world that was a matriarchy and not a patriarchy. And, the French film was so good that there was never a discussion about word for word remaking it in an English language. We had to kind of discover a new idea inside that. And I think it is about sort of just thinking about the tiniest little things that we take for granted every day, and yet with a flipped lens, you kind of go, whoa,
Yeah, they both have in common that they're like satires of social norms, beyond gender. It's just I think that, and it's as you say, it's sometimes these little things that we don't necessarily notice or think of that both movies I think are successful at showing to people and being, oh, this is how it feels when someone does that. I think so.
And it's unusual in some films it will make you laugh, but it will also make you think. Is that something that you've been pleased with the result of this?
We'll find out.
Yes. But you have such an incredible cast here, of well-known comedians, but also what you could call serious actors, but who deliver everything so convincingly and lend even more authenticity to the whole thing.
Yeah, I think that was always very important to us, that whilst we would be laughing on set at something, we would also take a moment to realize the poignancy of the conversation, particularly in the office. It was very jarring sometimes to just see the language of how men work and how women work. And some people say absolute power absolutely corrupts. So it's not that all women are good in one world and all men are bad. And, it's very nuanced. And I think that's important.
And your choice of director, obviously she's worked with some outstanding cast before, and this one is also an outstanding cast. How much has she added to the process for you?
Everything. I mean, literally everything. I think she's masterful with actors and words, and she's like, I couldn't imagine making the film with anyone else, to be honest.
Plus, it's like building a world, in this movie. You have to build an entire other world, which is another reality, which is a big task for the director as well. So she did it so well.
Yeah, she's been incredible. And I think a lot of the amazing cast is because the director was our director. She drew all this talent in.
Well, congratulations on the film. It's fantastic.
It's
been so nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey You Guys!
Hey!